In addition, I think this can also grow into a larger sales operations tool if you understand the market right. You talk to the people who have this problem, you will learn a lot. Sales operations is a big market, lots of players, but still a big market, and I think there's game to be had.
Hi everyone. So last video in Up for Grabs, we didn't really mention what we're doing here, and a lot of our new viewers don't really know what it is. Basically, we have an idea in our minds. We're both developers that turned into marketeers, and we want to share those ideas with you, and we're going to break it down into idea, product, which is more technical, and then go to market. How do you actually sell this idea? So we're giving you everything. It's up for grabs. Let's start. Tom, what do you have today?
Hey, Agam. Yes, indeed. We're going to break down a very simple idea I had from using a bunch of CRMs over the years. A CRM is a customer or contact relationship management software. Very simple, allows you to track all the conversations and information you have about your potential customers and prospects. One of the core things that everyone who has a business and has a CRM in it knows is it's how to maintain. There's a whole industry of CRM hygiene software. And now with all of the new AI revolution, there's a bunch of tools that also do AI cleaning of the CRM, meaning they organize the information and kind of put it in the right place and make sure that everything is tracked. One thing that happens a lot is what is known as omni-channel communication. Omni-channel communication is when you talk to the same person over multiple channels. For example, you might talk to a person over email and then live in a conference and then over Telegram or WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or whatever. Tracking all of those conversations a lot of the time requires adding another integration into your CRM software. That can be expensive or simply not possible because the integration does not exist. So after doing that for a long while, understanding the importance of documenting everything inside your CRM, I learned that I have a habit. And all the time what I'll do is I'll screenshot or like copy paste a piece of text or some conversation I had in one platform and just paste it into a note in the CRM to track that conversation later on. And if I went back to that conversation, like, I don't know, 3 months later, I had that screenshot telling me, so that what triggered the next step with the customer interaction. That's what happened and wasn't tracked in the CRM because it wasn't over.
Can you give us an example?
Like in my personal WhatsApp or whatnot. Sure. I once talked to a customer in a conference and we ended up opening a WhatsApp group with him and his boss. And then when I went back to the office, I added him as part of the leads that we got from the conference. And we had the fact that he went to the conference and we met him at the conference, but we never had the conversation that we had personally, which what ended up kind of starting the deal. So what I did was I copy pasted, I screenshotted actually that conversation from my WhatsApp and put it in the CRM. So the idea is as follows. Instead of having to integrate and plug and play a bunch of different things into the CRM, what we'll do is we'll have a Chrome extension that sits on top of any application you have. It could be WhatsApp web, Telegram web, Facebook Messenger, whatever. And it enables you to screenshot or copy paste a set of messages, right? And then drop it into whatever CRM in existence. Now, it's not going to do a bunch of complicated integration stuff. All it's going to do is either copy paste the message or screenshot the conversation and throw it as a note in the CRM. I got a tiny little bit of a diagram I want to show. So let me just show that. So that would be how it looks like in practice. Very simple. Let's say this is WhatsApp. I have a Chrome extension here that I click on it. When I click the Chrome extension inside the WhatsApp conversation, it gives me a few buttons. It allows me to send to HubSpot, which is a CRM, send to Pipedrive, which is a CRM. It allows me to export via text, so like exporting the left-hand messages, or just dump to a file, a text file, an image, whatever. And then later on in Pipedrive, in the CRM, I will be able to see inside the contacts view that conversation that I had in here. Again, it can be a note, it can be an image, it can be some text, doesn't really matter. It's a pretty simple idea. I have like a tag name for it, like off CRM conversation tracker, which is a shitty name. Don't use it, but that's kind of how I think about it. Off CRM conversation tracker. What do you think?
And you're using an extension and not an integration because?
Building integration is difficult. And I would like to build minimum integrations as possible and definitely not pay extra for something that integrates poorly into only one of my extra channels, right? For example, in Intercom, you would pay a lot of money for WhatsApp, a lot of money for Facebook Messenger. They have a bunch of tiers and like add-ons. And I think there's a company in the Intercom space that also has its own like Omni something also has its set of like integrations, and they bill each channel separately, like $99 a month or something. It's big business, I think.
Yeah, because I think you're maybe missing out on the go-to-market later if you're not part of the marketplace of those CRM.
So I'd say that it can be installed as like an avenue, and I'll talk about it in go-to-market. An avenue of getting that to market would be an integration inside those CRMs. But let's talk about that in the go-to-market a bit later.
Okay, let's continue. It's your idea.
Yeah. So product-wise and technically wise, and you're the technical expert. So tell me what you think. I thought of having that again as a technical, as a Chrome extension, technically speaking. I think that it's very simple to build. I would actually do it with two different sub products inside of it. So the Chrome extension would be kind of the interface, would be the main UI of the entire thing. But on the backend side, I would have multiple integrations using something like maybe N8N, which is like a cloud Zapier comparable, or some sort of a low-code integration platform, which essentially what it does is it accepts a message from the customer and then sends it over to the CRM just as a note or something pretty simple at the start. And once that scales and the very actual
that way, you don't need to like write all the software integration code, and N8N already does it for you, and it's also open source, so you can use all that.
Correct. So at the start, just getting started, I'd say that this would be kind of a one-to-one interaction, because you'll have to convince people to use it. So like for the first 100 users or something like that, I would simply set up workflows in N8N, make sure they're well connected, and then run with it. There is a little bit of manual work involved, but I think that it removes the need to actually build the product and enables you to do that pretty seamlessly without a lot of coding. The Chrome extension is very, very minimal. You can even take a template or something like that. And then once it's baked, I would use something. There used to be a tool called Reshuffle. Reshuffle basically had like code level integrations to a bunch of different CRMs. There's so many of them by now. They're called iPasses, Integration Platforms as a Service. There's a bunch of them. Just pick anyone that's the cheapest, use that for that, and get going. It's very MVP, most minimum viable product. I don't think it should take like too much time when you're just working out the kinks at the start and getting the customers. Pretty simple.
Yeah. What would be the pricing you'd give something like that in the MVP?
Right. So getting N8N like self-hosted is pretty cheap. You can get like a DigitalOcean droplet for $5, get it installed. It won't cost you a thing, and you can get unlimited like workflows like that. So like infra-wise, it wouldn't be expensive. On the pricing side, I think that just as a start, I would actually offer it as a free service, because again, it's so cheap to get it up and running. I'd see how the first users use it. What are the most popular CRMs? What are the most popular interactions? Are they screenshotting? Are they texting? I would figure it out. I would figure out what actually people use. And from then on, I jump on building it. So at the start, completely free. Once it's baked and I have 3, 4, 5 channels, I would sell it in bundles. So I would say, for example, if you want to add from one of 4 channels, so if you want to add messages from WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook Messenger, and Line or something like that, you want to add out of like a bundle of channels, I'd have that billed as something like $29 a month per sit, something like that, which is not super expensive when you compare it to other channels, and especially it's an IC basically. It's something for the individual contributor and not like for the larger enterprise, if that makes sense. So I think that would make sense.
Cool. So just to wrap it up before we go to the go-to-market, what would be the valuation or the market for such a tool? Because you're saying that there are integrations out there that you can pay as add-ons, but would this niche product kind of fit in that way?
Right. So I'm thinking about it a little like Reclaim.ai, which does calendar management. It integrates various calendars into one. So then you can see all of your meetings at the same place. It's an IC tool. I'd say that if you can get that to about, let's say, 1,000 salespeople, or like, a very experienced, I don't know, whatever, anybody who has even customer success, anybody who has customer relationship needs, I think that's a big motivator. So I think you can get it to 1,000 users. That's something that sounds possible. So 1,000 by 30,000 a month. That seems like a plausible, like high market cap firm. You can also like, even with the $100 million, how is that nice?
13 to 19 million dollars. 13 to 19.
The ARR or the valuation? The ARR valuation. The valuation, which means the ARR is significantly lower. And I think there might be a business here, but I don't think it will be large, because eventually, if there's a real need for this channel, somebody will come in and create an integration on the organization side.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to market this.
Yes, very simple. I got two main go-to-markets. The first one you already mentioned, which is the marketplaces. I think that getting this listed on the relevant marketplaces for HubSpot, Pipedrive, etc., and explaining that this is an external Chrome extension that enables you to drop things into the CRM is great. You probably won't have a problem with the CRMs themselves, because what you're essentially doing is enriching the data inside of them. They would love to have you, I believe. The only problem is you might be competing with one of their add-ons, like WhatsApp or Intercom or whatever add-on. That's fine. You just mentioned you do it as a bundle, so you're an integration package and not a single channel, and I think that would make a lot of sense. Also, you're not doing a heavy integration, so it's going to be like a message bubble by message bubble integration. It's just a note, so I don't see that as much of a problem, but that might be a challenge for you. And the other go-to-market is actually a bit cheeky. So I'd say that if a salesperson has a problem with getting their stuff logged into a CRM, a salesperson or maybe a sales operations person, they would probably go into the forums of these CRM companies and mention, can I do this? Is there an integration for this? I would go over every single feature request, bug comment, question about any type of external channel to the CRM, and just answer every single forward message there, mentioning that I've got a service which enables you to add that into the integration. And when you bundle it, there's a bunch of kind of mention trackers online. So they would kind of run through the website, like the forum, and tell you when something was mentioned. So you'd have to figure out the keywords. And then from then on, you'd probably have to just write up the actual answer. I think that I wouldn't like AI it. I would actually write down an answer that's formal and like good. And then see after about 200, 300, 400 of these messages, if you don't get like 20, 30 people willing to try the product, I'd be very surprised. And I'm saying that from experience. I did the exact same thing in the Shopify App Store for a different idea, and that worked wonders. So,
awesome. So we got two go-to-markets ready. Just you need to bake them yourself.
Yep.
And anything else you want to add?
I like this idea. Everybody who knows me well knows I love marketplaces. So anytime there's an idea that involves some sort of marketplace, I'm very happy. So this is one of them. And in addition, I think this can also grow into a larger sales operations tool if you understand the market right. You talk to the people who have these problems, you will learn a lot. Sales operations is a big market, lots of players, but still a big market. And I think there's game to be had here. So excited to see who will pick this up.
Yeah, okay. See you later, Tom.
Bye.